All right, so here we go. No more video. So I think we all know that plants are producers on Earth, meaning that they produce organic molecules for other organisms to survive. Specifically, plants, yes, they're autotrophs, but they are photoautotrophs or troughs, which means that they have to use light energy in order to make organic molecules such as sugar. We animals are heterotrophs, which means that we get our energy from consuming molecules, or not molecules, but plants and other organisms. So we have to eat or consume. Here are some examples of organisms which undergo photosynthesis using the sun's energy. So they, again, are photoautotrophs. Plants in the upper left, we know that. In the middle, we have multicellular algae or kelp, which has eukaryotic cells. In the top right, we have cyanobacteria. Sometimes cyanobacteria, you can kind of tell by the picture, it's called blue-green algae, but it is in fact a prokaryotic cell, and it's bacteria, not a plant, like in the middle algae is often considered. In the bottom left-hand corner, you can see unicellular protists. Now, what that is, typically it's found in like pond water, lake water. They are unicellular organisms that have eukaryotic cells. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, we have bacteria, which we know have prokaryotic cells as well. So all of these are examples of organisms that undergo photosynthesis. Here we have the general definition of what photosynthesis is. It is the process in which light energy is converted to the chemical energy or stored energy of food. Glucose is ultimately made. Now, the site or location in a plant in which this takes place is the chloroplast. And we do need to know a little bit about the anatomy of the chloroplast. So the chloroplast has a double membrane, as you can see by the picture, outer and inner. The fluid inside the membranes is called the stroma. And then we have these discs. These discs also have a membrane, and inside the discs is where the chlorophyll is, which is responsible for capturing sun's energy. It's a pigment. I didn't say the discs. They also have a name. They're called thylakoids, a single disc. When you get a series of discs stacked on top, it's called a granum or grana. Okay, a little more about the anatomy of a chloroplast, which again, the purpose is understanding that this is the site of where photosynthesis is taking place. So the tissue found in the leaf are called mesophyll cells. So these are, again, primarily found within the leaves. The leaves have high surface area. They face the sun. They're able to capture much of the sun's energy because they're so broad. And again, I think I said this is where the chloroplasts primarily reside. The next part of the leaf that's important for photosynthesis, this is where the gas exchange is going to be taking place, is the stomata. The stomata essentially are openings in the underside of the leaf where carbon dioxide can enter and oxygen as a product can be released. Now, I did say on the past slide that chlorophyll is a type of pigment that is located, so again, pigment captures light. It is located inside those thylakoids within the chloroplast. So understanding the chemical equation for photosynthesis, this is something that should be memorized. 6 molecules of carbon dioxide require 6 molecules of water along with the sun's light energy to produce 1 molecule of glucose and 6 molecules of oxygen. Now, something like always, chemical reactions aren't a one step. So there are other steps in making glucose. Now, in terms of the fate, what's going to happen, water is split. So when water is split as a reactant, part of it is going to go with carbon dioxide. That's going to be the first step to glucose being made. Please remember, as I said in the last set from chapter 7, you need to remember oil rig and what that means. Oil, again, oxidation is a loss of electrons. The rig part means if something is being reduced, it is gaining. So when water is being split here, and ultimately oxygen is the end result, it is being oxidized. Water is oxidized. And if something's being oxidized, something else must be reduced. So carbon dioxide is going to be gaining hydrogen from water being split. So right there, because it's gaining, carbon dioxide is reduced. This is a redox reaction. Hopefully this clears up a little bit from the last slide so you can see the ultimate fate. Again, water is going to be split. Some of the hydrogen is going to the glucose. The oxygen is going to be released by the first part of photosynthesis. So again, the water is being oxidized. Carbon dioxide is going to turn into or be a building block for that glucose molecule. I can't say it enough, carbon dioxide is reduced because it's primarily gaining. Okay, this is the overview of photosynthesis. We have the light reactions. Light reactions happen in the thylakoid. And then we have the Kelvin cycle, also known as the dark reactions, which is the synthesis. This is where the sugar is going to be made. So the overview, light reactions require light, which makes sense. They also require water. Oxygen is going to be released by the splitting of water. Something else that's going to be generated is ATP. We're very familiar with that. And also NADPH, which is the plant version of NADH. On the opposite side, the dark reaction, which is occurring in the stroma, it will require carbon dioxide from that main reaction, which turns into glucose, as you can see.